Bradford Bishop, the one and only suspect in the brutal murder of his wife, mother, and 3 children, is still on the loose.
What could Brad Bishop be doing for a living to earn money?
Oh, he could be doing anything. By all accounts, he was a very intelligent man. He could be teaching a foreign language. He could be teaching English. I mean, if he's overseas somewhere.
Frustrated and exhausted, investigators have responded to numerous tips, hoping to find him, dead or alive.
What have been some of your best leads so far?
The best lead was probably when we exhumed the body in Scottsboro, Alabama.
Did you just think, man, this is it?
I thought we had a really good chance. We had the photo of a deceased individual who was killed during a hit and run in 1981.
How did you get that lead?
It was the local sheriff said, hey, this guy looks a lot like Brad Bishop. You know, let's take a look.
Investigators are disappointed again. DNA from the exhumed body rules out Bishop, but the FBI is upping the ante. After 40 long years of looking for Bradford Bishop, Bishop is now on the FBI's list of 10 most wanted fugitives. They hope it will generate even more leads and close the case once and for all.
When a fugitive is added to the FBI's top 10 most wanted, what does that mean for their case?
Well, one thing, you get an automatic $100,000 reward. It also generates a huge publicity blast. Their face is posted on the FBI website. We had billboards put up in New York, at Times Square, throughout the U.S.
The FBI has even come up with a sculpted model of how Bishop might look today.
We had a world-renowned sculpture artist create a likeness of Bishop, you know, an age-progressed likeness. I think it's very good. I think that's what's generated a lot of tips for us.
With all that, Bradford Bishop still remains a free man with plenty of room to hide.
You've had leads in so many countries.
Yeah, Thailand, Cambodia, Mexico, Canada, Great Britain. Canada's kind of significant because Bishop's mother was Canadian, so familial ties possibly there.
But one man who knows Bishop well says he's certain he saw him in Europe in a chance encounter out of nowhere. It happened near Sorrento, Italy, sometime in 1994, where Roy Harrell was on a skiing vacation.
When I was drying my hands and proceeding to leave the restroom, he was standing there. I said, hey, you're Brad Bishop, aren't you? And he looked at me and said, oh God, no, and ran from me out into a blinding rainstorm. And I followed him and I caught myself. I thought, you're dealing with a man who is charged with murder.
But Harrell says he got a pretty good look.
He gotten older. He also had a beard in strange parts up here on the cheeks that he kept carefully trimmed. They weren't even connected to his sideburns. He'd gotten quite a bit more weight on, but his facial appearance was virtually the same as what I'd remember.
And Harrell was no casual acquaintance of Brad Bishop. He worked closely with him for years at the State Department.
Brad Bishop was somebody who was very selective in who he would even have contact with. He was someone who was very anxious to make it in the Foreign Service.
And he also knew the deeper side of the man that lay hidden from the rest of the world.
That he did have a very volatile temper. He frequently said to me, sometimes I just lose control. And I said, and that's rather dangerous for a diplomat to be doing.
In fact, Roy Harrell was one of the last people to see Bishop just before the multiple murders of his family, when he left work early after failing to get a promotion to an overseas assignment.
He said, well, I think I'm getting the flu. And I said, well, go home. It's a long weekend and let's get together next week. He said, yeah, if there is a next week. Very curious comment.
Police have never come up with a solid motive for why Bishop would kill his family. But Harrell says there was plenty of tension in the house, especially between Bishop and his wife and mother, who had no interest in moving overseas.
Annette Bishop had her own career, and she was very reluctant to uproot her 3 children, and his mother carried the purse strings, and she never let him forget that. He was resentful of the fact that they were, for want of a better term, retarding his career.
After spotting Bishop all those years later in Italy, Harold says he went to authorities in Rome to alert them, but the information never led to Bishop or an arrest.
It was definitely Brad Bishop, and I don't think he would have run for me had I not, for a better term, had the goods on him.
Investigators in the U.S. never put police resources into pursuing the sighting, knowing it was only one of many from around the world. Wherever he is, Bishop clearly has the resources and the know-how to stay several steps ahead of the law. But lawmen say they expect to get their man, no matter how long it takes or what condition he's in after 40 years.
FBI is offering a $100,000 reward for any information that leads to the capture of Brad Bishop, if he's dead or alive. If you know that he was buried in a cemetery or in an unmarked grave, call us, email us, post it on Facebook, let us know.
The FBI is asking you to take a good look at these age progression photos. And remember these character traits. Bishop really enjoys hiking. He's also an avid camper. In addition, he loves to drink scotch, eat peanuts, and really enjoys spicy foods. If you have any information at all about this case, log on to our website at crimewatchdaily.com.